And kindly, sir, introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. By names, I'm called Innocent Anyaja, and I'm also not only an expert in agriculture of the section of organic, but also I'm a religious, I'm a Franciscan brother. Asante.
Wow, that's interesting. Remember, organic farming has been growing into deep roots due to the increased demand for organic products by farmers. You can take a look at these beautiful products. We have spinach, we have good sukuma wiki, not only good but quality sukuma wiki. We have cabbages. And maybe what inspired you to start this organic farming technique?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Basically, for us, even before you are trained in agriculture, especially the organic, what happened is that it's one of the core, what we call the principles of the Franciscan Brothers.
Okay.
Franciscan Brothers, we do what we call sustainable agriculture for rural development. Okay. So through that line of training, I found myself having interest in organic farming.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a good farming technique that you can advise my farmers to adopt?
Actually, when you look around the area,
yes,
you will come to realize that the setup of this organic section of this Baraka College is a setup whereby we train farmers, especially the small scale farmers, farmers who are not doing a partnership with the government. When you look here, this part where we are standing right now, it's the kitchen garden section.
Maybe we can take a look at as we... Yes.
So like you have seen, this is a kitchen garden section whereby we have different techniques of kitchen garden technology, which lie in what we call sustainable agriculture for rural development, but basically organic. Na hapa huwa tunafunza wakulima with the different techniques. Kwa mfano ukiona, when you look at this one here that stands,
yes,
this is what we call the multi-storage garden.
Wow.
Now this multi-storage garden, kwa mfano hapa tuko na hiyo ya sukuma, hapa tuko na ya spinach, tuko na sukuma, na tuko na spinach, tuko na sukuma.
Yeah.
So we are trying to mix them in a way that spinach, ugonjwa ambao itashika spinach sana sana itashika nini? Itashika sukuma. Okay. So we try to put them in between. Now, this technology is basically for places that don't have a lot of land, ni kama town, urban areas. Yeah. So we train farmers or students from urban areas how to come up with this type of technology. Then the raised garden ni sehemu ambayo zinapokea mvua mingi sana. Yes. Okay. So ukienda pale tuko na mandala, hiyo mandala inakuwa round, tutafika pale muone. Na pale tukisonga pale kando sana zaidi pale mwisho, yes, tuko na sunken. Na sunken hiyo uwe inatumika sehemu zile za Kenya na dunia nzima, mahali wanapokea mvua chache sana. Ili mvua ikinyesha, hiyo maji kidogo ambao wanapokea ama wanapata ina sustain hizo crops.
Wow. Thank you so much. What are some of the soil management practices that you employ here, and how are they different from the conventional method of farming?
Okay, thank you very much. And now when you look at organic farming, okay, there are a lot of things that we look at. And one of the pillars altogether, the first principle, not the pillar, the first principle of organic farming, it is always what we call soil fertility. Yes. So soil is very important in organic farming. Now, when you look at the layout of this farm altogether, you look at the beds, how they have been laid. They are not straight. So we consider what we call the gradient, the slope. Yeah. So we have first of all to cater for soil erosion. Ukiona vile metermuka, the beds, they are not straight, but they are on the way following the what? The gradient. Yeah. So the beds are against the gradient. Okay. Kwa mfano ukiona hapa tuko na terraces. In case of soil erosion, hiyo mchanga inabaki kwa terrace, huwa tunaitoa and then tunaweka kwa nini? Kwa shamba. So here atupoteze mchanga. That is one of them. And then two, like I said earlier, this is a setup that train farmers. Ni kama tu nyumbani kwa mtu. Yeah. Uko na mali unalimia chakula ya jiko, tuko naye hapa, ambao unapeleka kwa jikoni. That is the kitchen garden. But in most cases, our manure, the cow, what we call the cow dung manure that we used to make the compost and all other what we call organic related manure, altogether, inatoka pale kwa ngombe, altogether, kwa ngombe zetu pale ambao tuko na 2 enterprises pale.
Maybe my cameraman can show my viewers. Yeah. Continue.
Yes, pale tuko na enterprises mbili. Tuko na what we call the main stock, ile ambayo inatupea maziwa, na ile ambayo inatupea nini? Inatupea other products, inatupea pesa. Yes. Na hiyo enterprise ya pili tuko na ile product ambayo tunaita replacement. Yeah. Tuko na hiyo stock ambayo inaitwa replacement stock. Wala the what we call also the maiden heifers. So hizo ngombe 4 ndio zinatupea what we call the cow dung, the urine, out of which tunatengeneza slurry. From the slurry tunaifeed kwa biogas. Pale kwa biogas system pale. From the biogas system we get both the biogas, which is the methane, and then the waste ambayo inabaki inakuja kwa lagoon hapa. Then from the lagoon inakuja kwa hii mtaro. So hii mtaro tumejenga in a way that hata wakulima ambao wako nyumbani wanaweza kutengeleza mali hiyo uchafu ya ng'ombe inakuja inaingia hapo. Ikishaingia hapo inakuwa just for 1 week. 1 week imeshaanza ku dry. Tunaitoa kama iko wet, tunaweka kando. After 1 week tuna transport what we call the compost site manure. Then tunaitumia kwa shamba. Those are the ways how we do how we take care of our soil, and then also we have what we call a disciplined manner for crop rotation. Yes. Ndio maana ukiona hapa tuko na spinach, tuko na cabbage, na kwa ile ambayo tulipanda juzi ukienda pale utapata we have intercropped them with what we call the bulb onions.
We can go take a look at them. My cameraman, you can show my viewers.
Yes, so like you can see, these are what we call the onions.
Yeah.
Intercrop na hizi spinach. Yeah. Now, here basically we don't spray because it's organic. Ukiona hapa naone pale ndani ya spinach tuko na nini? Tuko na bulb onions.
Yeah.
Hizo bulb onions, they help us to act as what we call repellents.
Yeah.
Repellents, what do they mean? Repellents, they repel away what we call the pests.
Yeah.
Pests that cause diseases. Pests that cause damages to what? To these crops. So those are the ways how we control those pests. And we have what we call a discipline, like I said, a disciplined crop rotation method. So kwa mfano hapa, before that, hapa tulikuwa tumepanda nini? Tulikuwa tumepanda carrots. Sasa tumeweka spinach na vitunguu. Hapa tulikuwa tumepanda nani? Hapa tulikuwa tumepanda spinach. Sasa tumeweka nini?
Cabbage.
Tumeweka cabbages. Yes, namna hivyo.
Actually, he has talked about how they integrate livestock and organic farming. He has talked how they integrate livestock with organic farming. He has also mentioned how they manage the crops, or how they keep away the pests from their crops. And maybe I see one of the, there are the cabbages. Maybe you explain what that is. It that the sun is too hot, or the pests are too competitive? Kindly explain.
Okay, when you look at those cabbages,
Yeah.
You will just realize they had already reached maturity. But remember, the system that I wanted to develop there, or the system that I was practicing, the cabbages nilikuwa nimezipanda so closely. Nilikuwa nataka kuonyesha wakulima the way how wanaweza ku reduce cost ya kuweed. Now, what did I do? I had to compensate with what we call the spacing. So one, I did that because the cabbages themselves wangekula space yote. Na wangekula space yote, what does it mean? It means wange suppress weeds. So in that process, of course kuna cabbages zitakuwa zimekomea size kubwa, na zile zitakuwa kidogo because of space and competition. So that's what I wanted to do, and also train farmers. Hata ukiona pale kwa ile what we call container garden, the same thing nimefanya pale, ili wakulima wakikuja, wakulima wale ambao wanataka ku reduce cost of labor, they can do that. You can try to reduce the spacing. But remember the disadvantage with that, lazima tuambiane ukweli. Ita compromise also the quality. Kuna zile cabbages zitakuwa wakubwa, kuna zile zitakuwa in small in size. And then also they are what we call being ready for the market. Itakuwa at different time. So hizi ni zile ambazo zilikuwa zimebaki. So most of them tumeshaziuza kwa shamba.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And maybe another question that my farmers will be interested to ask. Have you noticed any difference in the conventional way of farming and the organic way of farming in terms of the yields, quality and quantity of them?
Yes, the difference will always be there. The differences will start from what we call the cost of production. And then from the cost of production is what we call the maintenance stage. And then what we call the product, the final product. Ukiona hizi, kwa mfano, when I'm starting to plant, all together, already, remember nimefanya integration. Ngombe ambao niko pale na mbuzi inanipea mbolea. Kwa mfano hapa, hizo ngombe we bring them up organically. One of the ways how we do what we call, we control what we call internal parasites. For example, what we call the worms. Instead of kununua dawa ya kuwapea minyoo, huwa tunawapea spinach. So we measure the spinach. Spinach ni one of the key crops ambayo inatusaidia control internal worms kwa zile wanyama. Hapa wakulima wakienda kununua mbolea kwa duka, sisi tayari tuko na yetu pale. Kwa mfano unaona pale kwa mahindi, tuko ready made. Unaona pale. Na pale juu tuko na rabbits. Rabbits, they give us urine. Now we use the urine for rabbits. We use what we call the pyrethrum. Okay, we have tobacco. You can see it there. Tobacco also we use it to process what we call the pesticides. So instead ya kununua vitu, instead of using pesa kununua vitu za duka, we make our things here locally, whereby we cut the cost of production. Okay. So you'll get totally kuna difference. And when it comes to what we call demand, demand ya hizi vitu iko too high. And then also the prices. So, but also it has a disadvantage. Lazima tuongee ukweli. Disadvantage ya hizi vitu ya organic product. Hapo huwezi spray. Kwa mfano carrots zangu siwezi kuzispray. Tutaona pale chini. Lazima ikue manyo.
Can we go and take a look at them?
It's okay.
Okay.
Did you have 1 minute?
All right.
30 minutes.
Namalizia tu.
These are the carrots, for example, I was talking about. If this was be part of what we call the convection, huyo mkulima angenua tu dawa na apige. All together, apige. Ila control weeds na shamba ikue smart. But again, at the end of it all, hiyo trends za dawa zitabaki kwa nini? Kwa carrots. Lakini sasa hii yetu nilikuwa nasema shida, one of the problems of organic farming, it is labor intensive. So kama hii carrot, unaona hii carrot yote hii, lazima ni hire workers, the casuals, ambao watapalilia from the first weeding to the last weeding. Na huwa anafanya polepole. Juu unaona carrot ukipanda kwa mfano inakuwa with a lot of weeds, sometimes inafanana na weeds, so lazima wafanyakazi wakuwe makini sana. So those are the challenges we have, for example, in the carrot here.
Okay.
Yes.
But the challenges can be handled. Can be wakulima wanaweza jituma wapalilie instead of using the sprays.
Yes. Kwa mfano hata ukipata ekajo ambao watalima hapa all together, na ukiona hii size ya hii carrot, the output ya hii carrot italeta more faida hata kuliko ya kutumia pesa ambayo umetumia kufanya nini? Kulipia wafanyakazi. Okay. Yes.
Thank you so much. And maybe what are the steps and requirements for obtaining organic certification for your farm?
One of the steps, kitu ya kwanza mtu anafaa afanye all together, ukikuwa na farm kama hii mkulima wa kawaida, the first thing you do, you come up with what we call organic implementation plan system. You have to have a system because everything is a system or a discipline. So ukikuwa na hiyo discipline, ukikuwa na hiyo system all together, you come up with that plan. Then the second thing, you come up with the ways how you have to do what to achieve or implement that plan that you have. Okay. Of course, kwa mfano sisi watu wa Baraka kwa hii organic section yetu, we came up with a plan. All together, how are we going to come up with the layout outcome of this farm? Ukiona hapa vizuri, huko side ya chini tuko na chakula ya ng'ombe. Katikati tuko na what we call field crops or what we call the cash crops. Ukienda juu tuko na what we call kitchen garden. Okay? Ukienda huko side ya ile kando pia juu tuko na orchard. Juu zaidi tuko na nyumba ya mbuzi ya maziwa na ya ng'ombe ya maziwa. Kando tuko na biogas system. Kando tuko na mahali tunakolektia mbolea. Ukienda mbele ya nyumba ya mbuzi na ya ng'ombe tuko na nyumba ya watu. Wow. We call it a homestead. Tuko na office. So once you come up with that plan all together, and you have planted the field crops, the forages and all what is needed in the shamba, then you invite all together, you invite somebody from the department or from the ministry. Here in Kenya we can talk of what we call the KIOF. KIOF is what we call the Kenya Institute of Organic Farming. The experts, you call them. They come to do what? They come to inspect. What we call inspection. Ni kama ya gari. Okay. Before vehicle iende kwa barabara lazima ifanywe nini? Inspection. So lazima before these organic products zikuwe certified. So what we call inspection. So huyo mtu akifanyiwa inspection au together kuna watu call certifier, ule mtu ambaye anakuja kucertify from the ministry, then unaitwa after what, after inspection. So huyo certifier anakuja kucertify your report, then after that then you get the what, you get a certificate. Yes.
Thank you so much. And livestock integration into organic farming is a very key.
Wanakula, and hapa what we do, tunawapea our feeding discipline is every day wanakula 90% of what we call the forages. Okay. So we are trying to make sure to reduce the cost of concentrate. Hizi kuwa organic na wanakula concentrate mingi, hapana. 90% forages. Na hizi forages ni ile ambayo tunalima. Okay. So ukiona hapa tuko na oats, tuko na hay all together, na tuko hapa na desmode ambayo imekatwa ndani. So kwa mfano hapa hizi ni ng'ombe zetu, tuko hapa na Asha 3 na tuko na Fresian 1. Okay. Yes. Na huyo tunamkamua na kwa siku anatupea maziwa lita 18. Anatupea lita 10 asubuhi, lita 8 jioni. Huyo ako under dry. Na kwa sasa mwezi wake wa 7 anaelekea kuzaa. Okay. So tume stop kumkamua because now ameshaelekea kuzaa.
Thank you so much for the response. What advice can you give to a farmer who is interested in transitioning to organic farming?
Okay, kama ni ng'ombe, the advice I would give, wacha huyo mkulima kwanza, one, atumie hizo ng'ombe ambao ako nazo. All together. Yeah. Then I improve what to call the forage base system yake ya shamba. All together. Yeah. Ajaribu kuona vile anaweza kuproduce most of the feeds kwa shamba. Na kama ni concentrate, sana we advise for 10%. Yes, but we don't advise farmers to change stock ama ku replace. Wa improve hiyo stock yao ambao wako nayo so that wafikie wai yetu. Kwa mfano ukiona hii sai ni ngumu sana ujue ati wanakula 90% forages. Chakula ni muhimu sana. Feeding ni muhimu sana kwa wanyama.
Thank you so much. And in your own opinion, what are the best or health benefits for organic farming practicing?
Kwa mfano hizi ng'ombe sai all together chakula yao huwa tunalima sisi wenyewe. So ukiona saa hii with the current cost ya concentrates all together, it is too high. It's more high than producing these forages. Ukiona pale kwa shamba tumeproduce. The only thing, if you have the discipline it means how you plan. Ukiplan vizuri all together with good management, then hizi ng'ombe I don't think I think 10% ni sawa. Juu ukiona hizi kwa mfano 10% huwa wanakula during what we call the flushing. Flushing ni ukiprepare kuzaa. And then another 10% ni what we call during steaming up. Steaming up when you prepare the cow to paturation. So hizo period iko very sensitive kwa ng'ombe. But all along this period ni chakula ya shamba. Na ikifika kwa deworming vile nilikwambia kitambo tunawapea spinach. So atununue dewormers. Ikikuja kwa what we call external parasites like tick, we have blue ticks. Sometimes tunaziacha kwa ng'ombe ili wanafunzi wakikuja they learn from them. So how we control the blue tick, huwa tunadua to call hand picking every week. So when we do that, we don't smash them. Tunazicollect into a plate, tunazichoma. By burning, so we are 100% sure of destroying both the blue tick with the eggs. Yes, so we complete the cycle. Asante.
That's very interesting, my viewers. Once we hear of organic farming, we think it's only one way of not using the chemicals in pest management or not using the fertilizers in crop growing, but actually he has mentioned it's all about discipline, good planning. Yeah, ni kujituma.